Hey guys, welcome to another podcast. Today we're gonna be talking about the Finding Nemo Disc 2 DVD, except for all the bonus features and stuff. We're just gonna go with the previews, the main menu, and the actual movie itself.
So this should be interesting. And yeah.
This
So what what the DVD actually starts off with is the blue warning screens, not the red ones not the deadly or sinister red ones you get from Fox DVDs back in the day. And it just cuts straight to the infamous coming soon to theaters bumper by Brian Cummings. And I'm surprised that there's no Walt Disney Home Entertainment or home video as it was way back in 2000.
Right. Oh.
The first preview that we always get, or what we get, is the theatrical teaser trailer for The Incredibles. I like how the teaser just starts off like you're actually seeing some kind of history of Mr. Incredible back in the day. And when he was called for help, well, he struggled to put his own belt buckle on because, well, let's just say 15 years have went past, and they have to remain as their with the identities that they have, because superheroes were sued from the damage they have gotten, from the damage that they had caused. Mr. Incredible, or should I say Bob Parr, couldn't even catch a break. Just when you thought he got his belt buckle back on, his body seems to be, well, not so incredible.
And then pops right back off.
And it broke the lamp. Well, let's certainly hope Mr. Incredible is paid enough to fix the damage. Oh, wait. He worked at Insured Care, so I'm pretty sure he's already paid enough. That was the funniest teaser trailer I ever seen.
Yeah.
After that, we have another theatrical trailer that is also releasing in the following year in 2004, but it was released in spring of that year. And that is a theatrical trailer for a very rather interesting movie that takes place in the Wild West, Home on the Range.
Okay, one of the most overhated Disney films ever made.
Yeah, and it's barely talked about next to, unlike Atlantis or Treasure Planet or any of those films that have been released way back. And, well, considering it is on 2D, it is a 2D film. It looks nice. It looks good as far as I can tell. And I didn't even know that, for some reason, I didn't know that Jennifer Tilly, who played as Tiffany in the Chucky series, was in this movie.
Yeah.
And of course, rest in peace, Estelle Harris, who was also in the film. I never got around to Home on a Range, even though I've seen some clips of the movie, though, and the trailer itself.
Yeah. I've seen the movie itself. I liked it.
Well, let's hope Disney doesn't get any ideas to do a live-action remake for that one, or Treasure Planet, because, well, we need it anyway.
Right.
Back to the topic, we get another bumper for coming soon to own on video and DVD. And the first preview that we get is, you may think that we are getting a preview for the Lion King because of the opening sequence, where you think it's going to be like the Lion King Platinum Edition that was already released. Well, you think wrong. It was actually a preview for 1.5. Wait, really? What happened to number? I don't know where 3 went. So okay.
Well, the 3 has got to go.
And they can't use 2 because there already is a number 2.
The freaking fourth wall break throughout that freaking teaser trailer.
It's literally a fourth wall break. I mean, I actually agree. I think what Lion King 1.5 is basically a fourth wall break. The opening sequence is a fourth wall break, rather, I should say. Now this title's a knockout. You were saying?
Not literally.
I like Lion King, but I never knew that 1.5. I never knew 1.5 is going to have so many fourth wall breaks. They're so hilarious, though.
Oh boy. All right.
The last trailer that we have is the sequel for everyone's favorite but underrated holiday season film from the holiday franchise from the holiday season, The Santa Claus, starring Tim Allen as Scott Calvin, who ran into a little bit of a problem. He's got to get married.
Oh boy.
I gotta get married? In the end, after that, no. That's gonna leave a mark. Well, after those hilarious trailers that we get, we cut to the menu screen that takes place at the dentist's office in the EAC, or should I say the East Australian Current in Sydney, Australia.
What? It takes place in the fish tank. Oh, right.
It starts off unsettling that you're in you enter into the tank, but we get a very interesting 3D view of what the aquarium looks like. Well, fish tank, I should say.
Yeah.
And already, not even 10 seconds into the screen, it already feels like an aquarium already. Even though you have to press the fish icon to give you the actual aquarium without the text appearing.
Yeah.
When you press play, when you press play, it just transitions to tonight.
Yeah.
And we come across everyone's favorite robot, Tex the Robot.
Oh boy, yeah.
At least he was here to keep us company twice in the 2-disc DVD of Finding Nemo. Like, we have the Moo Can in the first disc for the widescreen format, Now he's here to keep us company again for the second disc in a full, but this time in full frame.
Yeah.
Gee, I wonder why THX didn't even bother to like add like the Moo Can again for the VHS release. I mean, they did that with Monsters Inc., but they just decided to like, screw it. We're just gonna have kids scared about the Broadway logo again.
Oh gosh. Good thing Tex is here with us on the DVD.
That is true. That is true. That and Monsters Inc. And one thing I already noticed is that when I went through the text or THX logo text in Finding Nemo, it's kind of more extended than the one I seen in Cars. It gives us something like this. Well, if you seen the actual trailer, you know what I mean.
Yeah. He hurt himself.
Because he was cutting him. I think he was cutting something with a buzzsaw. Well, a manual saw, not the electric buzzsaw. And after that, after he fixes the logo successfully, we see Lucasfilm Ltd sound system all over the logo. Something that the one from Cars was missing. Well, it's a variant anyway.
The audience is listening.
And unlike the VHS, it just cuts straight to the opening logos. While the VHS format, for some reason, show us the full screen disclaimer that actually was the format screen used on DVD and VHS tapes from the 20th Century Fox for some odd reason. And after that, the movie just starts off. It just begins after the opening logos. But it may be the same as disc one, but like I said, it's in full frame to for some odd different reasons. Like if you have a TV that has a 4:3 screen format, that's the feeling that you get.
Mm-hmm.
One movie later, one feature length later,
We're to talk about the actual film though.
No, sorry, I meant the movie starts off at the coral reef with where we come across Marlin, voiced by Albert Brooks, who he and his wife Coral were about to become parents, waiting for I have no idea how many eggs are counted, are listed, are ready to hatch. However, this had to be cut short because we come across the already not even 2 minutes into the movie, the first scariest moments ever, and we like to thank but also blame Tex the robot for making this movie sound loud.
Yeah.
Because who do we meet? The Barracuda. Thanks a lot, Tex. Not even 2 minutes into the film, and you made something scary by making it loud. After that unexpected turn of events, Marlin had woken up, discovering that Coral and all, but one of the eggs had been all eaten by the Barracuda off screen. The only egg that was remaining was already cracked. Marlin had to name. Marlin later then named his child Nemo, a name Coral liked, and vowed to keep him safe. Well, even though I blame Tex for making Barracuda sound loud, he really had to make the sound a song called Nemo Egg sound, well, more sadder than ever.
Yeah.
If you don't count the 2012 Blu-ray release, which I already don't, and I'm already glad I have the 2003 copy now. And for those who are curious, who did the music, Thomas Newman does the music as opposed to Randy Newman for the last few Pixar films way back.
Mm-hmm.
Thomas Newman is actually, or Randy Newman is actually Thomas's cousin, by the way.
Oh, right. That explains the last names.
I was just hearing the soundtrack already. Thank God I don't hear it. Don't hear it. Only on my phone though, because it's already it will be copyrighted if I just play it in a computer anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I think I blame Tex for making the Barracuda sound loud, but I would thank him for making Nemo Egg the title main title of the song or the movie more sadder than ever.
Yeah.
Back on track to the movie. Nemo is getting ready for his first day of school, much to Marlin's concerns. Little did he know is that Nemo's first day of school was actually heading to was actually a field trip all the way to, get ready for this, the drop off. Little did we know is that it's a no go, and fish would just be served and become fish and chips right about now. Charlotte, get out of Mr. Johansson's yard now!
Oh, gosh.
That part had me dead.
Oh, my.
During the field trip, Nemo's new friends noticed the boats that they quote unquote call the BUTT,
Oh, my
also
God.
known as But. Don't take it out of context, please, and thank you, people, please. Nemo refused, only till his father arrived, causing the pair to have a very heated argument regarding Marlin's very overprotective parenting method. So after Nemo just tells his father off that he hates him, Nemo defiantly swims to the speedboat. And after that, we come across yet a second scariest moment. Thanks a lot, Tex. But because he was captured by a pair of scuba divers.
Yeah. We can't go this far in without mentioning Mr. Ray, though.
Yep.
Voiced by Bob Peterson.
Yep, I was just about to say that. After when the scuba divers came or arrived, Mr. Ray took the three kids as they went back to the coral reef, or Great Barrier Reef, I'm guessing.
Guess so.
After poor Nemo was captured, Marlin frantically pursues the boat in vain, but unfortunately, the speedboat was already, well, too fast to get caught up with.
Yeah.
After that, we later then come across Dory, a blue tang with short-term memory loss, voiced by Ellen DeGeneres, who offered to help Marlin only to confuse him, and not helping.
Oh boy.
After that, we come across three sharks named Bruce, Anchor, and Chum, who attempt to abstain from eating fish because their motto is fish are friends, not food. Something I don't see every day in movie or shark movies nowadays. When they were at an abandoned shipwreck, or abandoned ship, Marlin later then found a diver's mask that fell from the boat while he was unsuccessfully trying to tell a joke that he did once in the beginning of the film. And that wasn't considering Marlin is a clown fish. I can get what the point is here.
Oh boy.
Marlin found the diver's mask and accidentally injured Dory with it, causing the scent of her blood, sending Bruce into a very feeding frenzy, going insane, despite making a Shining reference that the kids did not even know until they grown up at the age of 13 or whatever age they went. Bruce somehow snapped out of it, and little did he know is that he caused chaos because he accidentally sets off old naval mines. So after that, everyone were able to swim to safety before the mines blow up and come across a fart joke from one of the pelicans while one pelican thinks the other pelican farted.
He didn't even do it, man.
He didn't even do it. He didn't even do it. Well, what was that? Even a fart joke? I mean, wait, it already is a fart joke.
Oh gosh.
At least it wasn't like I think that was kind of the first Pixar fart joke I've seen before tractor tipping in cars was even a thing.
Oh gosh.
After that, Nemo was placed in a fish tank in the office of dentist Philip Sherman. Yes, that's the name of the dentist, Philip, voiced by, let's see who he's voiced by again. I should say it on here, I think. Oh, Bill Hunter. Yeah, I forget. There he is. Bill Hunter.
Right.
Or should I say the late Bill Hunter?
Yeah.
He died at the age of 71. Let's see. Oh, Eric Bana played as Anchor? Oh, I never knew Bruce Banner from Hulk 2003 played as the shark. Okay, then.
Okay.
Too soon? Well, moving on. After arriving in the office of the fish tank of the dentist's office, he comes across meeting the tank gang led by Green Goblin. Sorry, I mean Gil, played by William Dafoe, who all were I mean, who Gil was actually a scarred Moorish idol. Sherman plans to give Nemo to his niece Darla, who accidentally killed her previous pet fish named Chuckles because she treated him carelessly. How did Darla treat her previous pet fish carelessly? Shaking the bag constantly 24/7.
Yeah. Okay, we've described Gil. Maybe you should describe the other 10 gang members?
Um yes, gladly. We have we have Bloat, the aquarium's porcupine fish, voiced by Brad Garrett, who would later then play as Gusto in Ratatouille. Uh, he was also Dim, the rhinoceros beetle in A Bug's Life, and he as most recently played as Lord Grigon from the Pixar's new movie Elio. We
Oh,
have uh, the aquarium sea star named Peach, played by Allison Janney. Okay, then. We have the aquarium's yellow tank fish, who is obviously obsessed with Bubbles from the treasure chest, who's actually named by the same name that I already described, Bubbles, played by Stephen Root. We also come across Gurgle, the aquarium's obsessive compulsive royal grandma fish, voiced by Austin Pendleton. And we have the aquarium's striped damselfish, named Deb, or also known as Flo, who is actually the reflection, voiced by a Vicky Lewis. And the last character I cannot forget is Jock, the aquarium's cleaner shrimp, played by the late Joe Rampt, who some people may know him as Wheezy from Toy Story 2, Lenny from the Toy Story duology, and Hamlet the Caterpillar from A Bug's Life. And he was also most recently in his last film role, posthumously, he was Red and the Peterbilt from Cars. Yeah, such a great guy.
yeah.
Yeah, he's such a great guy. Rest in peace.
And we get the root canal.
Or should I say, the most painful dentist scene that made me flinch. Feels like, I mean, to me, when I see that scene, I feel like that's the real kid's experience with doctors, excluding like flu shots or like wisdom teeth removals. That's kind of the same feeling I kind of get, and that's not pretty. From the sounds of the drill,
Oh, God.
yikes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, maybe I should probably move on, or else I would probably scare people who's actually afraid of the doctor anyway.
Yeah,
Anyway, after
moving,
that,
moving right on back to the ocean.
yep, we move right along to the ocean, where the diver's mask unfortunately fell into a very, very, very deep trench. As Marlin and Dory search for it, though, after Dory's new song that she came up with, Just Keep Swimming, they were attacked by an anglerfish after finding a very pretty light moments before disaster. Good feel good because, and after that, after the anglerfish was revealed, good feelings gone. During the chase sequence of the anglerfish, Dory had to memorize the address written on the mask, while Marlin is the one who had to distract the anglerfish before trapping the anglerfish itself with the mask. Back at the, well, aquarium at night, as the dentist had closed for the night, Gil also had the same wish as Nemo, wishing to return to the ocean, devising an escape plan as they would have to have Nemo block the aquarium's filter tube with a pebble, obliging Sherman to put the fish into bags while he cleans the tank, covered in algae. This will allow them to roll out the window and into the harbor. But the real question is, could it work though?
Well, to find out, the Tiki Heads. Oh boy.
Yeah, we may never know. Back to the ocean once again. We come across a school of moonfish voiced by Pixar legend John Rastenberger, who has been in many, 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 many Pixar films that we all know, who had given the pair directions to the East Australian current. But before that, they were playing the game of fish charades, or charades. Well, fish charades, because since it's actually a set-top game in the bonus features of this too.
Yeah.
Little did we know is that, unlike the movie, well, in the movie's teaser trailer, Dory decided to act a little recklessly by accidentally scaring away the moonfish, causing Marlin to unfortunately say something that feels like he wants to end his own life, and to make sure Dory gets out of his misery. Can a bigger fish swallow me? I will voluntarily go on a hook.
Yeah, but no, we don't get that. They get the help they need.
Thankfully, that is only the film's teaser. We don't see that in the final version because, again, it is a teaser. So why would that be? Why would that make sense if that was kept in? Back to the, on the way, though, Marlin and Dory were trapped in a forest of jellyfish. Why does it have to be the jellyfish? Why does it have to be the jellyfish? After the pair were stung and knocked unconscious, we come across a very familiar shadow, which we will get to later, because we are heading back to the aquarium once again, where the escape plan was very unsuccessful, as Nemo attempted to block the filter with the pebble, but in the process, he was nearly killed by the filter's machinery. I swear Nemo could have been fish food by that.
Yeah.
Back to the ocean, yet again, Dory and Marlin were awakened in the East Australian current with a large group of sea turtles, including Crush, voiced by Andrew Stanton, and his son Squirt, voiced by Nicholas Bird. Which is throughout the way, Marlin tells the story of what is happening and why he's heading all the way to Australia. The news soon spreads all the way to Sydney, where it also reaches to Nigel, a pelican voiced by Jeffrey Rush, who was also known as Hector Barbosa in the Pirates of the Caribbean Curse of the Black Pearl movie that was released in 2003 in the same year,
Yeah.
or that would later then become a franchise,
Hmm.
regularly converses with the Tank Gang. But despite that, we also come across the annoying but yet very hilarious Mind Seagulls Tell No One, where not only that Nigel tells the Tank Gang of Marlin's journey, but it also motivates Nemo to successfully block the filter. And it was very successful.
Yeah. Very successful. He didn't almost die that time.
And thank goodness for that. But meanwhile, Gil thinks that it's not going to be successful until we hear the gears actually jammed. After the second and successful attempt, the aquarium becomes quickly covered in green algae.
But we don't get that yet.
Because back to the once again, we exit the current. Or should I say the swirling vortex of terror? I swear, if that was if Disneyland makes that a real roller coaster ride, I would be dizzy and get motion sickness by that.
Oh gosh.
And after that, after exiting the current, Marlin and Dory all get lost. But not for long, as Dory decides to speak whale, which ultimately caused them to get consumed by a big blue whale.
Scaring off some krill in the process.
Yep. I don't remember exactly, but I think when I saw Finding Nemo on the Disney Channel, I think after Marlin and Dory get ultimately consumed by a blue whale, it cuts to a commercial break. I don't know. It's been a very long time since I've seen it on Disney Channel.
That would have been horrifying. Oh god.
Feels like a cliffhanger if you ask me. Oh wait, why did I say that? Well, back to the movie again. We come across the ocean. The aquarium once again. Once yet again. Where this time the aquarium actually becomes covered in green algae. A successful attempt is actually very helpful. Meanwhile, Gil has caught Gil in the eye. Jocks was cleaning, even though he was told no cleaning. Oh dear, or mon dieu, Jocks is ashamed. Throughout the aquarium, the bubbles that comes out of the treasure chest is very, very, very filthy, and it wasn't good for Bubbles himself. Meanwhile, Deb is trying to look for her twin sister Flo, and Peach. Well, let's just say Peach is doing a scrub angel. Flo, on the other hand, decides to get a little immature by pulling off a better out than in move from Shrek by eating the algae and burping at Gurgle's face. Don't you people realize we are swimming in our own? Oh, I forgot. I forgot that was a perfectly cut censor word right there. Very clever, Pixar. I haven't seen anything that clever since the Oh Sugar Honey Iced Tea from Madagascar. Wait, that was DreamWorks' idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
When Philip, or back to the film, I should say, when Philip discovers the tank is when he notices that the tank was dirty. There were some talks that Philip was going to clean the tank before, before his niece named Darla gets here. Back to the once again the ocean. We come across. We are inside the mouth of the whale.
And that music, man.
Yeah, that music. Throughout the or on the way though, we thought that Marlin, when you guys think that Marlin and Dory were actually going to get devoured by a blue whale, you guys think wrong because the whale was actually giving them a ride to the Sydney harbor. So because the whale actually expels Marlin and Dory through its blowhole. They have successfully arrived into the Sydney harbor, which means Marlin is on his way to find his son.
And we get the opera house.
Yeah, the opera house. I always forgot that Pixar always seems to actually reimagine real life locations. Like, I mean, ever since Route 66 from Cars, really, or well, Italy from Luca, or anything, or any other movies, or any other movie film locations that you may see in other films. But before we get to the Marlin and Dory again, we cut to the next day of the aquarium tank, where the tank is clean. You heard me. The tank is clean. By you know what? The Aqua Scum 2003. Stop it! Bloat couldn't even catch a break. He's like, no, I don't want to hear it. And that escape plan may seem like it doesn't seem that if the escape plan was quote unquote ruined, little did we know is that Nemo was taken into the bag, where let's just say that Nemo tries to roll himself out the window, but that has caught Philip's eye, and that wasn't successful. Because guess who was here? Darla. Oh, jeez, the psycho music. I can hear it playing in my mind, thinking about it.
Oh, gosh.
Thanks a lot, Tex, for making that sound worse. And thanks a lot, Alfred Hitchcock, for playing that over. A Pixar film. Back to the Sydney Harbor again. We come across Marlin and Dory, who were nearly swallowed whole by a pelican. But Marlin was having none of it, as he didn't come this far to be breakfast. And trust me, he really, really didn't. He didn't. After escaping the mouth of the pelican, the two fish met, or the pair met Nigel, who were later then surrounded by a flock of ravenous seagulls, who also looks after, who is finding Marlin and Dory as their prey, while they were still shouting "mine" all day long, 24/7. We come across a very high-speed chase sequence, or should I say, a high-flying chase sequence, where the seagulls get trapped by a sailboat, causing Nigel to arrive at Sherman's office. But back in the office, however, we come across a very terrifying sequence where it sounds like a point of view of Darla tapping on the window with a loud bang.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Tex, yet again. Throughout the after when Darla was told that Philip wants to see her, he was going to give Nemo to Darla. However, Nemo did a very good trick up, pulled up a non-existent trick up his sleeve. Well, his non-existent sleeve, I should say, or fin, by playing dead. What is he, a possum now? Well, that was the point. Jokes aside, that was the point. Because he wants to avoid being given to Darla. But that, unfortunately, didn't go well for Marlin, who thought that his son was actually dead.
When Nigel comes in, and the chaos happens.
Oh, dear. With the exception of Darla shrieking her head off, this did not go well for not only the inside of the office, or the dentist's office, but the waiting room. Oh dear, that's not going to end well.
At least we get a Mr. Incredible cameo.
That's kind of a coincidence because we have a teaser trailer of The Incredibles, and the movie was going to be released the following year after that.
Tell our audience here where we see Mr. Incredible at.
We see Mr. Incredible in a comic book where that poor kid was traumatized to life.
Wait, did you mention Buzz Lightyear's cameo?
Oh, shoot. I have not. I was just about to point that out. I forgot about that. Actually, where did Buzz come from?
Yeah.
maybe Philip must have bought it from Al's Toy Barn and must have brought it all the way here. Wait, why would I say Philip went to Al's when he's Australian and Al's is in like the tri-state area of the U.S.?
I don't know. Maybe he had it shipped to him.
Maybe he must have shipped. Wait, was Amazon a thing in 2003? Pixar, you're questioning things here, are ya?
eBay was a thing, since Peach mentioned that she was from eBay's.
Well, that makes sense. That makes sense. When Sherman or Phil forces Nigel out of his office, Darla shakes Nemo, or shakes the bag where Nemo was inside, causing the gang to frankly, in a hurry, to launch Gil from a volcano to help Nemo escape through the sink drain that leads to the ocean specifically. And after Phil was still alive after he was got knocked in the head from knocked in the head. He Philip somehow got Gale back in the tank. But what happened to Darla? She got sprayed by the sink. How did that happen?
She broke it.
Oh, I should have known.
She was like grabbing onto it so hard. She was like leaning down on it so hard that it dislodged.
Oh, jeez. Well, I hope Toilets doesn't do that. Later, well, after that turn of events, Marlin decided to mournfully say goodbye to Dory and begin heading home on his own.
After a very emotional goodbye from Nigel, after a very emotional apology from Nigel.
Yep. Yeah, I can't forget that. When you thought the movie was over, no, you think wrong. Because Nemo actually came out of the pipes where the hermit or sea crabs were at, where Nemo meets Dory, who not only remembers everything from the events of the film, she helps Nemo reunite with his father. But first, before that, let's just say she did something to one of the crabs who refused to talk. She threatened to get that crab eaten alive by the mine seagulls yet again. That part will never not be funny. It will never not be funny. It was just too hysterical. I never seen how angry and serious Dory was. And she did.
Well, at least she spares his life.
After that funny and unexpected funny moment, Marlin and Nemo were reunited. But that was cut short when a fishing trawler captured Dory along with a school of groupers in a net.
And who are these final bosses, you may ask?
The two fishermen.
Yeah.
But they weren't exactly Pixar villains because they don't really count. They don't really count.
Yeah, they don't have any speaking lines, and we hardly see their faces, but
Yeah, but again, they barely say it. If for people that barely say anything, why would you think they'd be villains when they barely did anything except trying to capture fish to make fish and chips, I'm guessing. During the climax, Nemo and Marlin all work together, instructing the fish to swim down. Their combined force broke actually somehow breaks the beam of the trawler, freeing the fish successfully. And Dory was also freed as well.
and you're probably wondering how Nemo got the idea of swimming down. Dude forgot to mention it earlier with the tank net.
Oh shoot.
when Phil tries to scoop Nemo up in a net, and
Um.
it's a really, how do I say it? Don't celebrate too soon scene, because like right after they manage to get Nemo out of the net, he then gets scooped up in the bag.
I was just about to mention that. Not from the way I hear it, yes.
But anyway, back to topic. I just
Back
felt like
to the
talking about
topic. Um, after the fish were freed from Marlin and Dory had found Nemo under the heavy netting. Marlin was at first stricken with grief, believing Nemo was dead. But Nemo himself had regained consciousness, and Marlin gently tells him that he found out that sea turtles live to be 150 years old. In the end of the film, Marlin became more confident and outgoing and stopped his overprotective actions. Decides to drops Nemo off at school. And
where
we get
Mr.
a very interesting role reversal here because we seen Nemo jumping on his father, waking him up in the beginning of the film. But the tables have turned because Marlin is the one who woke Nemo up.
Yeah, and Mr. Ray gets a new student.
And who is that new student, you may ask? Squirt.
And
And
Marlin finally manages to make Ted, and Bill laugh.
finally, after what, 1 hour already? 1 hour, 15 minutes?
Only for those three to get Ted gets the ink scared out of him, if you know what I'm talking about.
Because Bruce decided to come along with Anchor and Chum. Dory was actually dropped off by them, if you may ask, who had actually included Dory in their vegetarian program. And before Nemo left, he hugs his father before heading off on another field trip with Mr. Ray. And it probably won't be the drop off, as far as I can tell.
And what words and what are the two words that we get on the screen and during the final shot?
We get the end, which is basically the end of the film. But as the screen fades to black, though, we get a quick dedication to Glenn McQueen.
And it's really sad.
Yeah, to think that Glenn McQueen actually died like a year before Finding Nemo was released. It's like when Joe Ranft actually died a year before Cars was released as well, which is also sad to think.
Yeah.
After a dedication, we come back to a pre-credit scene. Yeah, what I say pre-credits because when you think of when you think of mid credits, you just get you watch the beginning of the credits, and before we get to the next credit scene, we have a scene before that, before the mid credits or the next roll of credits after that. But pre-credits is basically before the credits. And that specific scene is at the office once again, where Philip frustratingly curses the new high-tech filter, the Aqua Scum 2003, had actually stopped working, despite having a maintenance-free lifetime guarantee. And deeply concerned, that Philip notices that the tank gang had actually disappeared from the counter. Because they actually rolled themselves out the window, just like what Gil mentioned in his escape plan in the film minutes ago.
And who do we briefly see?
We briefly see Luigi from Cars, I think.
Yeah.
After the tank gang had landed in the harbor with the other fish, Bloat just briefly asked, "Now what?" Before the movie just ends like that. Okay, then.
And we get a very relaxing song over equally relaxing in credits.
And that specific song was called Beyond the Sea by, who was it? Robbie Williams, I think.
And explain why the end credits are so relaxing.
You basically kind of see a lot of backdrops and backgrounds that kind of feels like all the virtual aquariums from all the DVD menu screens that you're seeing from the two discs, the widescreen and full screen format.
Except this time, Tiki's takes place during the day, so you don't have to get scared.
And yeah, and as the credits roll, we see another cameo, and this time it's Mike Wazowski. That sure makes a lot of sense. I mean, how did he manage to swim underwater? Isn't he supposed to be in Monstropolis right about now?
Well, he probably decided to go for a swim. Probably went through one of the doors to the ocean, and he is wearing scuba gear, so
Which makes a lot of sense.
yeah. After the backdrops are done, what do we get before the tell them what we see before the credits start rolling, and fading to the blue background. That like build up, like the transition,
We get
It's the I'll give you a hint. Scuba diver toy.
we see a scuba diver toy that starts up the credits. After we see a brief background of the aquarium.
And the end credits are a lot of fun as well.
We see as it transitions to blue, we see Blenny. Brief second, we see Nigel taking a peek, looking at the credits upside down before looking at the viewers upside down. We see a shark fin, which I'm guessing is Bruce. At least there's no Jaws theme song playing.
Right.
And we also see a sequence of Gurgle and Gil treating Bloat as a beach ball. And then we see a crab holding on to one of the mentions or persons from the co-artists that I can't pronounce the name. We see Peach sticking on before losing its grip. But stick back on.
Yeah.
And is there more? We see Dory just being Dory. And I swear there's something else here.
Yeah, it's like after the song ends, we then see
we see Bubbles, seeing more Bubbles. We see the kids just playing, having fun. We see Deb and not Flo. We see Jocks and Bloat. Bloat once again being treated as a beach volleyball. And Marlon and Dory having some father and son time.
You mean Marlon and Nemo?
Marlon and Nemo. My English is always broken because I had so much talking today. But anyway, like I said, Marlon and Nemo were just having some father and son time, which I actually really do like. And then we see Nemo headbutting with Squirt. Or no, it was a noggin, whatever that was.
Yeah.
And then there's the Mike Wazowski cameo. Because as the credits were done, it transitions from blue to black. And for a brief reason, that is because we see Blenny, who was Anchor's friend at the support group back then, was actually stalked by the anglerfish. But as the anglerfish moves in, Blenny opens his big, enormous mouth, swallowing the anger. How big is that mouth for the Blenny, though?
Yeah, look at him. He's small as heck.
He's small as heck. How did he do that, though, is the real question.
Cartoon logic.
I should have known. Cartoon logic is always the thing we question about. And after that, the movie just ends with the closing logos with no music in the background, unlike the opening logos.
And the last thing we see is everyone's favorite lamp.
Luxo Jr.
And what does he do? He does this all the time.
On the eye. He just bounces on the eye.
Yeah, he does it all the time.
Yeah, he does it every time since A Bug's Life, because Toy Story didn't exactly have Pixar until I think 2010, until 2010. I believe 2010, because that was when Pixar was a thing, or Pixar actually was merging with Disney together.
And you all know Pixar. You all know how in the closing logo how we end up transitioning to the black screen. Tell them, Duke.
Yep. After the movie actually ends, we head on back to the main menu screen once again.
And yeah, that's about it. Letting us know that the movie's now over. Go home.
Yeah.
Oh wait, you are home. You are home. All right. Well, that was fun while it lasted.
That really was. Feels like it's an hour since the SpongeBob movie podcast.
Yeah. So anyway, guys, that was really fun while it lasted. But like all fun things, it has to come to an end. I don't know what DVD we should do next time. Probably the Cars DVD. Oh yeah, Duke's eager. Duke's eager for that.
Yeah, I'm very eager. I can tell from the way you see.
So maybe we can do that either tomorrow or Monday. It depends. I don't know. I don't know what days Duke's off Monday. What days are you off work?
I'm off tomorrow. I'm off tomorrow, and I think I'm off Monday as well. So I don't know. That's Penso.
All right. Well, if he's off work tomorrow, we can do it earlier than expected tomorrow for cars. His favorite film. For today, we did my Pixar favorite Pixar films. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we will see you all next tomorrow, maybe, or Monday. Bye, guys.